Imagine this. World War II is over, but a new, colder war is beginning. It's 1948, and the city of Berlin is split. West Berlin, a small island of freedom, is suddenly cut off from the world. The Soviet Union has blocked all roads, rails, and canals, hoping to starve the city into submission. This was the start of the Berlin blockade. The Allies responded with a massive airlift, flying in food and fuel around the clock. But one American pilot decided to drop something a little different. His name was Gail Halvorsen, and he would become a legend, not for the bombs he could have dropped, but for the candy he did. Halvorsen was flying C-54 Skymasters, hauling tons of essential supplies into Tempelhof Airport in the American sector. One day, he noticed a group of about 30 German children gathered by the airport fence. They weren't begging or asking for anything. They were just watching the planes, the symbols of their survival. He was struck by their dignity and resilience, especially after everything they had been through. He walked over to them, and though he couldn't speak much German and they couldn't speak much English, they communicated. He was deeply moved when he realized these children, who had so little, weren't even asking for candy. In fact, when he offered them the only 2 sticks of Wrigley's double mint gum he had, he was amazed. The children who got a piece didn't just chew it. They passed around the wrapper for others, just to smell the sweet scent. That moment changed everything. Halvorsen knew he had to do more. He promised the kids he would drop candy for them on his next flight. But how would they know it was him? He told them to watch for a plane that wiggled its wings. He went back to his base and gathered his candy rations, along with those from his co-pilot and engineer. They attached the chocolates and gum to tiny, handmade parachutes fashioned from handkerchiefs and string. The next day, as he approached Tempelhof, he wiggled his plane's wings, and true to his word, out went the tiny candy parachutes, floating down to the ecstatic children below. He called it Operation Little Vittles. At first, he did it in secret, worried he'd get in trouble with his commanding officer, but word spread like wildfire. Soon, kids all over West Berlin were writing letters addressed to Uncle Wiggly Wings or the Chocolate Flyer. The story hit the press back in the United States. Far from getting in trouble, Halvorsen's commanding officer, General William Tunner, loved the idea. He saw the incredible propaganda value. This simple act of kindness was a powerful symbol. It showed the world that the Americans weren't just delivering flour and coal. They were delivering hope. The idea exploded. Candy companies, schools, and ordinary citizens across America started donating candy and handkerchiefs. Soon, entire teams were dedicated to assembling the candy parachutes. What started with 2 sticks of gum turned into a massive operation. By the end of the airlift in 1949, Halvorsen and his fellow pilots had dropped over 23 tons of candy over West Berlin. These planes became affectionately known in Germany as Rosinenbomber, or Raisin Bombers. This wasn't just about chocolate. It was a brilliant move in the psychological war against the Soviets. While Stalin was trying to portray the Americans as imperialist aggressors, here was an American pilot becoming a hero to German children. The image of tiny parachutes carrying sweets completely undermined the Soviet narrative. It was soft power at its most effective, winning hearts and minds 1 candy bar at a time. The Soviets couldn't compete with that. How do you counter a chocolate bomber? The Berlin airlift itself was a logistical miracle, but the candy bombers gave it a human face. The legacy of Gail Halvorsen, the candy bomber, is immense. He became a lifelong friend to the people of Germany, receiving some of the country's highest honors. He returned to Berlin many times over the decades, always greeted as a hero. He showed that in the midst of conflict and tension, a small act of kindness can have a monumental impact. It can build bridges, change perceptions, and become a symbol of hope that lasts for generations. He proved that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a weapon at all. It's a piece of chocolate tied to a handkerchief. So, here's a thought for you. What would you do in that situation? Would you share your last piece of candy to bring a little joy to someone else? Let me know in the comments. Drop a chocolate emoji if you would. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more incredible tales from history.